And let me just see who's jumping on here right away. Remember to comment and say anything you'd like. We always like to see those comments there. Well, we're going to start off tonight, and I'm going to do Invicta. We've had a number of Invicta shows and had some new watches sent out, some new watches added to the website. So I wanted to just talk about those watches a little bit more. And let me just get to my notes here. I know there's a gentleman, he said on one of my comments on social media, he said, don't go through the housekeeping items, just talk about the watches. Well, unfortunately, I do need to, but I'm always very brief. Just so you guys know, otherwise you wouldn't know the coupon codes to use and what else is coming up when the next show is and everything. So let me just get through that and then we'll get to the watches. So we have, let's see, tonight we have a coupon code and it's Wind Up 20. Wind Up 20. That's going to save 20% off your watch orders of $99 or more. And that is valid through the end of the month. I'll be posting another coupon code here after the show on my social media. That would be the Ryan code on Instagram and also Invicta Ryan on Facebook. And be sure to follow me on those social media platforms, but also follow Shop HQ on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, everything else out there. Make sure to sign up also from Shop HQ with their text and also their email alerts, because Shop HQ has a lot of different watches. We've had a lot of different brands. It's been super fun, but they also have home and also like Waterford Crystal, skincare, a lot of different things. So definitely want to check that out and see what they have to offer. All right, well, we're going to kick it off here with Invicta. And let's go ahead. We're going to do, it's a little bit of a guys and gals night. So we're going to start off with two different ladies' watches and then go to two men's timepieces here. And so the first one is going to be from the Wildflower collection. So that's an exclusive ladies only collection from Invicta. And this is a 27 millimeter Wildflower, the quartz crystal accented bracelet watch. Now check this out. I love the design of this. It looks a little bit familiar to something else that's a little bit similar out there in the industry. There are two different color choices. I have the rose, and there's also a gold tone version, which is completely plated in that 18 karat yellow gold all the way around for the bracelet and for the case of the timepiece. And the typical price on this is $695, and that is the MSRP. Shop HQ whacked that down 90% down to $72.24. $72.24. Now, this watch alone doesn't qualify for that particular coupon. However, if you add something else on and you use that 20% off coupon, which is Wind Up 20, it would bring this watch then down to $57.79. Now that is something worth getting. Now, maybe you want to give this as a gift to somebody or buying it for yourself. Maybe add on the gold tone version too, or have another ladies watch coming up also that you can add both those two different timepieces together. I'll just give you a quick little hint of it. And have two different watches, and you can use that 20% off coupon code, which is Wind Up 20. So, all right, well, let's go through the watch here. So what we have is the case size of the watch. Now, when we measure something like this, we usually go west to east because it's a little bit of a different style here of a case. It's more of an octagonal shape for this design. So 27 millimeters was just over an inch. So it's a little bit more demure on the wrist, a little bit more of a classic size. And what we have on the inside is a movement from Time Module Inc., and that is the PC21. And what that is, it's a three-hand movement, which you get for the timepiece here to be able to dictate the time. Then as you look on the inside of the watch here, we have the Roman numerals for all 12 different hour markers on the inside with Invicta on the top hemisphere there showing its name. Now, something else I like about this watch is all the individual crystals. And you see all the individual crystals going around the perimeter here of the bezel. There are 70 of those crystals lined up here, going all the way around, just to add a little bit more of that luxe to this timepiece. There's a mineral crystal that's going to protect the dial here, excuse me, with that scratch, with the impact resistance. So it's a very, very hard crystal, which is that mineral crystal. I love the clasp enclosure. So it is that push button design. When you press these two buttons, releases, oh, excuse me there we go, releases the clasp, and when you put the watch on, you just simply push down right here and you'll hear a click. Then you know that watch is on. Now with this timepiece here, you're getting wrist sizes all the way up to about 8 inches with this watch. So you can take out a couple different lengths and size it down from that 8 inch. 8 inches right at the very top here. I'll just show you with my little demonstration. We're looking at right there. It's going to be probably a little bit snug right at that 8 inch mark. So 7 3/4, definitely 8 inch might be just a little bit snug. I'll put this watch on my wrist. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist just for size perspective here. And you'll be able to see, and would I wear this watch? Nope, that's not my sort of style, but you can see what it looks like on about just a 7 inch wrist. It's actually plenty of bracelet right there too. Yeah. Let me just measure that one more time. Let me double check here for this watch. Let me just see. Yeah, we're looking, right around that 8 inch. 8 inch wrist size for this timepiece. So what I like about this watch, first of all, it just has an extremely expensive look, if you know what I mean, looking at this watch. Second of all, is just that the crystals that go around the bezel just completely just jazz up this watch even that much more. And then you look on the inside too, a little bit more of an antique design here for the hands, for the hour and the minute hand. And then it's that guilloche inspired dial. I'll just see if I can do this. It's an oil pressing technique on both the front and the back of the dial. And it gives us pattern, and it looks really, really neat. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can see the vertical lines that are a part of that design. It's very, very finite in terms of the design here for the dial here of the watch. Of course, you're going to get a 3-year warranty that comes along with every single Invicta watch. I think this is an absolute beauty. Think about, it's only it's under 3 weeks until Valentine's Day. So maybe consider getting your sweetheart one of these watches, or maybe even just one of those just because gifts. Now this watch alone doesn't qualify for that coupon, but if you add something else on, like perhaps the next watch or anything else, it takes this watch from $72.24 down to $57.79. Brilliant. All right. Let me just look really quick here at some of the comments. We have Godfather. We have Phil. Hi, Phil. Thank you for being here. Invicta Claus. Anthony, thank you for being here. Magnum Vic. It's been a minute. Good to see Magnum Vic here again. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Been a while. Bob Cohen, Michael Hugh. Good to see you here. Also, Tim Shaw. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Rick and Lisa, thank you also for being here. Definitely appreciate it. Okay, well, we're going to move on here. Oh, you know what? I'm having that same issue again as I did last week with the... Harry told me just touch the screen and it should refocus. All right, well, we're going to move on here. And so we have a second watch, and this is also from the Wildflower collection. And so this is a 32 millimeter, a little bit more traditional, a little bit more classic with that round case, with the round case design on this watch. You'll be able to see just all that 18 karat gold that's been applied. This one's actually the rose gold version. So it's a little bit different than you'll find here from the first option. So different case design, about the same size, but different shapes that are done here and different looks on the wrist. So this Wildflower with mother pearl for the dial, we'll get into that in just a moment here. You're getting into the timepiece that it's regular price $395. Shop HQ brought it down 87% to $50.99. And like I said before, if you use Wind Up 20, it won't work on this watch alone. You have to add something else to it to get to that $99 plus. And if you do, it brings this watch from that $50.99 down to $40.79. So you could technically buy 2 of these watches, one in 2 color choices that are available. This is the rose tone. There's also a gold tone version. Silver tone is on the website, but it's sold out, unfortunately. So you could technically buy 2 of these watches and then get that 20% off. And then it brings the watch down to just over $81 for 2 timepieces. Okay, let's go through this. This watch actually has the same movement as the previous Wildflower. It's that PC21 movement from Time Module Inc. What that gives you is it gives you a 3-hand movement, no date wheel on it. It's just more simplistic, and you get to appreciate the dial, which is this mother of pearl. And Invicta just uses an amazing mother of pearl inside of their timepieces. You get to see that orient, that color that just pops on the inside. Absolutely beautiful. So the case size is 32 millimeters. The overall profile is about 8 millimeters, which is just under 1/3 of an inch. So it's very, very demure in terms of how it looks then on the wrist. The bracelet is 16 millimeters, and you can adjust that and take out some links because it will fit up to about a 7.5-inch wrist size. So not as large of a wrist size as the previous Wildflower, just a little bit smaller wrist size, but it's the same clasp and closure that you have. So it's that push button closure. So you just push, opens up, and then put on the wrist, push down, locked on. That watch isn't going anywhere. So I love the mother of pearl on the inside of this watch. I love the Roman numerals. So we have 2 for 2 in terms of Roman numerals, which you don't see all that often from Invicta. It's usually they like to typically use something else for the hour markers on the inside, which you're going to find in the next 2 timepieces, Arabic numerals and also sort of elongated diamond hour markers on the timepiece. Look at this. So every single square millimeter of this timepiece is high polished. I think that looks just truly amazing. That beautiful mother of pearl on the inside too, done in like a little bit of a soft pink color, almost like that little bit of that ballerina pink slipper color for the inside. Very easy to maintain. Basically just adjust for daylight savings time in the spring and the fall, and that's really it. And the watch should last a couple of years on that battery. Then you just have to get that battery swapped out by sending it into the Invicta Watch Service Center, or you can take it to your local jeweler if you do, and if they're not authorized, then voids the 3-year warranty. That's what the timepiece. Some people choose to do that and roll the dice. So that's what we have here for the second timepiece. All right, and let's see, we're going to move on to the third. Now this watch, I don't know, out of the 2 different watches for the men, but women can also step into those timepieces too. Which one I like more? Let's see. Yes, Godfather, that mother of pearl is pink on the inside. Magnum Vic, good to see you again. As we mentioned before, Phil, thank you so much. All right, we're going to move on to the third timepiece. So the third timepiece, it's the Pro Diver. I think we called this, it's not the Grand Diver, but some of you might know it as the Grand Pro Diver. So I have a couple of these different designs myself. I've always really liked the design for this 52 millimeter, but this one is totally different from any of the Grand Pro Divers I've ever owned. And so here's a timepiece. So a lot of you are familiar with that. It's that donut-shaped case. That donut-shaped case design, and then you get that unique strap that goes along, which is really comfortable for the timepiece. Even we'll talk about this, that little bend at the very end of the strap here, which is a patent that Invicta actually has. But first of all, it's a 52 millimeter. It's called the Pro Diver Quartz Chronograph Gold Tone version. So there's only one color, I guess, and that's the one that I have right here. Typical price is $995 MSRP. Shop HQ brought it down to $118.99. They took 88% off for you. And guess what? Use that coupon code WINDUP20. Takes this watch from that $118.99 down to $95.19 to get into this beauty of a timepiece. Now, I've always said I love the black and that 18 karat gold contrast on any watch, and this watch is no different. Absolutely love the color combination. You can see that's done with the strap on the outside, even the subdials on the inside with the 18 karat gold plated dial, and even the Arabic numerals are done in the black, and then you have the bezel with the gold and black. I think it's just beautifully executed here for this watch. So one thing that really stands out, and I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed, is the laser acid technology that's been done here with this case design. If you notice just a little etch work that goes along, not only for the case right here, but you're getting it into the bezel also. So there's basically a laser that goes through and just slightly etches everything, and then it's done in an acid bath just to make it a little bit more dramatic for that look, for all that design. I think this was just a brilliant idea that Invicta came up with to be able to create this design. Just you didn't see anything else like it out there in the watch industry. And so you see it's done for the entire case. However, the subdials, the function pushers and the crown aren't done. And look at the difference that it makes. It really makes a matte finish for everything that has that laser etching that's been done. And then look at how it contrasts even with the high polish here for the watch. I think it looks amazing. Inside the dial has the same thing, that same laser acid tech design. You can see as I just slightly move up and move the watch around a little bit. All right, well, the movement on the inside is the VD 53. So you're getting a chronograph inside of this watch, along with your 24-hour scale at that 3 o'clock subdial right here. Chronograph seconds, chronograph minutes. You can time all the way up to the course of an hour with this watch by the minute and then down to the second. There's a date window between that 4th and 5th hour marker there, as you can see. And then custom molded strap here for this watch with Invicta. You have 2 keepers that are floating on the other end, so you can move those around even over right here, the design, so you can just get that perfect fit for the strap on the wrist. And then we talked about, I mentioned this in the beginning of the presentation, it's this little curve or this little bend. If you can see, let me see if I can, there we go. Invicta Contour Technology. And so what that is, it's a patent that Invicta has. So when you have the watch around your wrist, that little bend right at the tip, see how it just really conforms and goes around, and it doesn't stick out. If it would be straight, it'd stick out like this. But it's just that little curve is a patent that Invicta actually has in the watch industry. I think this watch is absolutely brilliant. You're getting the 52 millimeters by 20 millimeters. So you're getting a higher profile here for the watch. And then finally, you're getting the wrist sizes anywhere from about 6 3/4 all the way up to 9.5 inches. So even T. White could wear this strap timepiece. He usually has to resort to the bracelet timepieces, but this one he could definitely do. Let me see. Yep, I'm on the final notch, and I'm 6 3/4, just about perfect on me right here. Won't go over the wrist at all. There's just a little bit of give, which is fine. And then I can just simply put that strap all the way up and take the keeper and see, look at that. That strap isn't sticking out at all with that Invicta Contour technology. Love this timepiece. I think it's great. And you still get the rotating bezel, which can be used as a secondary timing device here with that bezel. Love that timepiece. Water resistance, 100 meters. Go swimming all day long with this watch. Let me know what you guys thought about this timepiece. Let me know also what you guys think about the guys and gals for the first 2 timepieces. Let's see. Oh, Nightwing is here. Juan. Actually got to see Juan back in Myrtle Beach back in October. That was great, and actually had breakfast together. That was really, really fun. Let's see who else, anybody else. Madeline, thank you for being here. Pleasure. Thank you for saying hi. Phil, hello everybody. All right. We're going to move on here then to the final watch, and let me know what you guys are thinking in terms of this. So the final timepiece here today is going to be from one of my favorite collections, from Invicta. I've always loved the Pro Diver, but then a watch collection that I really, really love from Invicta. I think it's one of their most dynamic collections. It's always neck and neck for the number of most produced every single year with Invicta, was the Sub-Aqua collection. The Sub-Aqua collection just came out with these exciting builds and designs. You know, every couple of years, the Noma collection was coming out with a new design. I actually named my Doberman Pinscher Noma, and just love the collection. So what we have is a series within that Sub-Aqua collection, and it's called the Poseidon. And so this watch is just truly amazing in of itself. Excuse me. So what we have is multicolored here, just all the way around for this timepiece. It's a little bit bigger watch. We're looking at about that 55 millimeter, but A little bit like the Poseidon from before. It's that same case design where we have the little edge that comes out here on the west side. So it covers, so it almost looks like a visual balance between the crown and the crown protector here off to the side. So the regular MSRP, $1,395. But ShopHQ took it down 89% for tonight, down to $157.24, and that's before that coupon that you can use, which is Wind Up 20. $125.79 brings the price down to when you use that coupon. Now there are 5 different colors. I have the rose tone, and so you order by bezel and then dial, bezel, dial. There is a rose olive, there's a silver blue, which is hot, silver champagne, and also a silver gold. So you're getting into many, many different color options out there. This is the only one that I have. So what we have is a VD53 yet again for the movement on the inside from Time Module Inc. Same movement we just had on the Pro Diver. So you get the chronograph seconds, chronograph minutes, and then you have your 24-hour scale along with that little date window down at the bottom here of the, or between the 4th and 5th hour markers here of the watch. Now this bezel design, I like it. It has a little bit of a look of like the Subaqua Noma 6 design, and also the 3 where it got the 3 rider tabs, but then tabs look like the Subaqua Noma 6 coming up. Nice ratcheting 120 clicks for that bezel. It can be used as a secondary timing device. And what's cool about this watch too is being that it's Poseidon, one of the Greek gods that would watch over the water or underwater, he always carried his trident with him, or he will. Get a trident right here on the backhand of the second hand. You're also getting the trident look right here. It's a little hard to see, but you're getting the trident look right here with the trident coming down in those 3 spots. Getting the trident also right here for the crown protector. So that, I love that design. So you get that crown protector here. See how that just came out? Goes over the crown, locks down, snaps in. It's not going to move. There's another trident right here in the back, as you can see, with the high polish that's making that trident. And then of course, on the case back, you get it yet again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tridents on this watch. The overall profile is just about 16 millimeters on this timepiece. Wrist sizes. Now this is going to fit a little bit smaller wrist, 6 1/4, all the way up to about 9 inches. So with 100 meters of water resistance. Put this watch on my wrist here, and it should be a notch or 2 still. Yeah, you can see that right there, notch or 2. They can still fit. There's plenty of strap. And there are 2 floating keepers also that you can move around. I'll just show you right here. You can move those keepers around just to get that perfect matchup on the wrist. Extremely comfortable. Invicta is known for the ergonomics of the watches, where you have the timepiece, it's on the wrist, and it just feels very, very comfortable. Now, a couple things I do like about this watch. I mean, I love the size of this. It's fun being a bigger timepiece. The variety of wrist sizes, even from a smaller wrist, from about a 6 1/4 inch wrist all the way up to that 9 inch wrist. And as I mentioned, the Subaqua collection has always been one of my favorite collections from Invicta. You get a variety of different color options here today, 5 different colors to be able to choose from. And one other thing too I didn't talk about is look at the wave pattern on the dial. So it's a bit of a, right there, it's a bit of a 3-dimensional dial on this timepiece. It's just not a straight, flat, 2-dimensional dial. It actually just pops up a little bit more too. Really, really like that design. So yeah, mineral crystal is going to protect that dial too, or protect that dial in that case. So beautiful timepiece. Great job on this one for sure. And the other color choices, check them out online. They're great. Let me see anything else here. Magnum Vic, Madeline, Darius, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Nightwing is saying hi to everybody. Magnum Vic, good to see you. I'll have to send you a text here later on. So, all right. Well, those are the 4 different watches. So we have the Subaqua, the Poseidon. We have the Pro Diver with that laser tech, that acid wash finish along with the laser. And then we have 2 wildflowers for the ladies. Here they are right here. So it's a great lineup tonight. Mother of pearl. Get that uber sort of look design out here that's very, very well known in the industry. Multi-link design here for each one of those timepieces. So the next live stream will be coming up here on Wednesday. So be sure to tune in. It's going to be the same time on Wednesday. They'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern. Again, follow me on social media, The Ryan Code on Instagram and also on Facebook. It's Invicta Ryan. Make sure to follow Shop HQ on all their social media platforms, being YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, on their pages. Sign up for the alerts and check out everything else too. I'll be posting something else here just on the social media right after I'm done here with the live stream, which is going to end here in just a moment. But I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you this coming Wednesday at 7 o'clock. All right, enjoy. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.